I've been looking for a inexpensive shop truck, something just to run around, get parts in. Something I don't care if I get it dirty or, you know, grease in it or whatever, muddy boots. And I've come across this. This is an 05 F350 crew cab. It's a 5.4 3-valve automatic single rear wheel long bed F350 2-wheel drive with 83,000 miles. Well, as you can see, the tow and haul light's flashing, and I wonder if it's has anything to do with that transmission temperature gauge. Has not moved in the hour and I think about 20 minutes now we've been driving. The truck runs and drives really well, but occasionally the check gauges light will come on, and I can only imagine it's for that transmission temperature because it hasn't moved, and the engine temperature is at operating temperature. Holds good oil pressure, it's got good fuel, just your basic truck, no cruise control, you know, manual locks, manual windows. Got air conditioning, seems to work. At least the compressor comes on. How about that? But just your standard old municipal truck. This was previously a government-owned vehicle, and that's why it's got such low miles. It runs and drives really well. It's got really good tires on it. The bed's junk, which I assume that going in, but it's got a lift gate on the back, which is kind of interesting. Got my wife following me back there. I'm gonna have to pick it up. So let's get home and see what this tow and haul light's all about, and see if that has anything to do with that transmission temperature light or gauge over there not moving. When I went to go look at this truck, I was so concerned with, it's a 5.4 motor, and I wanted to be very cautious about when I started it and listen for any rattles in the motor, like, you know, timing chain tension or, you know, cam phaser issues, stuff like that, because it's pretty common. So I was paying attention to that, and I missed something kind of important. I want you to pay attention here, what you don't see on the cluster. You can see right there's the check engine light. That should cycle on with every key cycle, and I completely missed it. I didn't notice it didn't come on. Now I'm here at home and I'm, you know, looking into the check gauges and what have you lights, and when I bought this I knew that the catalytic converters had been removed. Okay, so I assume there's going to be a couple codes for converters. So I went to go hook my scanner up, and this bracket was, or the connector was bolted to the bracket in the wrong place. So I unbolted it so I could plug in, because I couldn't plug in, and then there was no power on pin 16. Pin 16 is supposed to have power on it to supply power to your scanner. So someone has disabled excuse me, someone has disabled the check engine light in the cluster, and then they also disabled the diagnostic link, so you couldn't plug your scanner in and actually communicate with the ECM. And now we know why. It has 10 codes, 10 engine codes. Mass airflow sensor, heated O2, which I expect the O2s. I knew the catalytic converters were removed, so these heated O2 sensors, there's 4 codes for them. There's one for engine misfire detected on startup, idle air control, RPM below expected, and then here's the one that I was really kind of hoping to see was transmission fluid temperature sensor fault. I'll turn that, maybe you can see it a little better. And then transmission fluid temperature sensor high output. These are the two that I was hoping that's what was turning on the check gauges light, which I believe it was. Instrument cluster module, communication failure. A lot of this is just going to be because of low cranking, dead battery, stuff like that. It could be that could be something, but it just goes to show you the lengths that some people will go to, because someone has disabled this power line, because I've traced the line out and the line has power at its junction. It loses it somewhere between the junction and that point, And being as though someone disabled the check engine light, I'm sure they did that so we couldn't plug in and see what's going on. But whatever, we'll get through it. It ain't a big deal. I mean, it's an unexpected, and it's upsetting that people are like this. I mean, how ridiculous. That just shows you the caliber of people that sell trucks, you know. But whatever, we bought it because we needed a work truck, and we got some plans for it, or some ideas I should say. But anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to clear all this stuff. I've recorded it here in a video so I can reference it, but we're going to clear all these codes, and then we'll start it back up, and we'll see which ones reset. So I'll do that, and we'll bring you back. I know this is annoying, but it's necessary evil. Next thing we're going to do is pop this cluster out, and we're going to see if the bulb has been removed, disabled, whatever the case is. So we got to take this trim out all the way across here. Alright, so the screws had marks on the tops of them, so we know this cluster's been out. Take the prindle out of here. Screw that up. Two connectors at the top. Now, cluster. See which one is a check engine light. Is this one, maybe? Man, I'm gonna need your glasses. I can't see anything. Which one it is?
There's a shocker. Here.
Suppose there's a better way to do this. Test these lights. I'm just gonna put them in the loop here.
You having trouble today?
Yes, lots of them.
Oh my, you are.
I gotta go to the battery so I can test this. I don't even know if that's the right one. I don't think it is. I think that's a turn signal. What the heck? This might be LEDs in here. It just seems awful funny that.
Could you hold a flashlight behind it so it would like
Well, I could, but
show
none
up?
of them line up with that.
Oh.
So I don't know. That's an airbag. Airbag, tow and haul. So it's up to the top. That's a high beam. So it looks like the check engine light is, that's turn signal. It's integral. So how in the world did they disable that? Because you can see someone's been in here prying on it. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
They've had this apart. Scumbags. This is foul play. This is illegal. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna have to look into it and see how I can get this apart, because the gauges are on there as well. Oh, there's torque spits there. Look at that. We ain't the first ones here, lady. Oh, that's something else. That's for the electrical connections. So, but now that separates, I can see the circuit board better. So I'll see if I can get it apart. I don't know, let me work on this. I just took this cover off, and most of these were not snapped into place. They weren't locked down. And look, see the scratches here, scratches there. Foul play, that is for sure. Alright, so I got the board out, and right, you can see the LEDs here. There's a LED for the check engine light, which they've obviously broke loose. They did that on purpose. So this was blatant. They did this so the check engine light couldn't come on. They cut the power loose from the ALDL, diagnostic link, OBD2 diagnostic link, whatever you call it, so that you couldn't plug a scanner in and check the codes. This is ridiculously dishonest. I mean, this is like breaking the law here, you know. And what really sucks is once we fix the problems, we're not going to have a check engine light. So my only option is to take this and send this in or get a new cluster, and then my mileage isn't right. Which, you know, one of the reasons we bought it is because the miles that it showed. So, anyways, fantastic. Alright, so here's a cluster, and you can see the turn signal. The right turn is the upper right corner. You come down 1 and over 1. And that's where our check engine light is. And that's exactly the one that's missing or broken right there where they broke it off. And we can make it work. It's pretty crappy. Well, we are on the highway. As you can see, the transmission temperature gauge is not working again. And the tow and haul light's flashing. And check gauge's light's on, but no check engine light. So we are taking this back to the people that we bought it from, and we're gonna express our displeasure. I guess that's a nice way to say it. And we're gonna see if they're gonna do the right thing, or if they say no and I have to nudge them and maybe remind them of how